In this video, we're going to be looking at the speed of sound in air or gases. The speed of sound does not depend on the source or the observer. It depends only on the property of the medium. So for gases, the speed V is equal to the square root of gamma times pressure divided by density. So as I've explained here, gamma is the ratio of specific heats of the gases. So gamma is equal to Cp divided by Cv. Now Cp is the specific heat capacity of a gas at constant pressure, while Cv is the specific heat capacity of a gas at constant volume. Rho is the density of the gas. P is the pressure of the gas, the ambient pressure of the gas. And note this, for air, that's for the speed of sound in air, V is roughly equal to 331 plus 0.6 T, where T is the temperature measured in degrees Celsius. So take note that T in this equation is measured in degree Celsius. Now let us take a look at Doppler effect proper. So there are case analysis that we need to look at, and I want you to take note of all of this. So the source moving and the observer stationary is the first case that we want to look at. So if the source is moving and the observer is stationary, the speed of sound will remain unchanged. The wavelength will change. The wavelength will either decrease or increase depending on the movement of the source. Then the frequency head will also change. So that's the first case analysis, when the source is moving and the observer is stationary. Now let's look at each of the cases separately. If the source moves towards the observer, the wavelength becomes shorter. So as the source is moving closer to the observer, the wavelength becomes shorter. Hence, the frequency heard by the observer becomes increases, and so also is the pitch, because the pitch depends on frequency. So as the frequency increases, the pitch also increases due to shortened wavelength. Now if the source is moving away from the observer, the wavelength will increase. This will be followed by a decrease in frequency and also a corresponding decrease in the pitch, because the pitch depends on the frequency. Now case 2, the observer is moving and the source is stationary. So this, again, the speed of sound in air will remain unchanged. The wavelength in this case remain unchanged. So take note of that. For the observer moving and the source stationary, the wavelength does not change. The frequency heard will also change. So that changes also, meaning that the pitch will also change. As long as the frequency changes, the pitch must always change. So always take note of this, that for the different cases, when this observer is moving and the source is stationary, the speed of sound remain unchanged. But for the source moving, the speed of sound also remain unchanged, but the wavelength changes. Now for this, the wavelength will remain unchanged. So these are important notes that you should take. Now if the observer moves towards the source, so the observer is moving, is it moving towards the source? Yes, if it is moving towards the source, it hears a higher frequency, so the pitch will also increase. Remember that the wavelength does not change. Now if the observer moves away from the source, then it hears a lower frequency, meaning that the pitch would also lowered or be decreased. Now let us look at useful derivation. So let's look at derivation. Now in this case, let us define some terminologies that we're going to use, some parameters that we're going to use. So V represents the speed of sound in the medium, that is if it is air, solid, gases, and whatever. So whatever it is. Okay. Now F is the actual frequency of the source. T is equal to 1 over F is the period. Vs is the speed of the source. V0 is the speed of the observer. Then F prime would be the apparent frequency of the observer. And again, we're going to have lambda prime would be the apparent wavelength. So let's look at each of the cases separately. So I'm going to start with case 1. So if the source is moving, we know that the wavelength of the wave would be V divided by F. That's the wavelength of the source of wave. Now, for one period of time, the wavelength of the wave would have been equal to Vt for one wavelength. Then the distance moved by the source, I'm going to call that ds, would be equal to the speed of the source times the time. So the apparent wavelength would then be equal to Vt minus Vst. Of course, we know that T is equal to 1 over F. So we can then just rearrange this, or just rearrange and have lambda prime is equal to T into V minus Vs. Lambda prime would be equal to 1 over F into V minus Vs. F prime will be equal to the speed of the wave divided by lambda prime. So that would then be equal to, so I'm going to substitute this into this equation over here. Will be equal to V divided by 1 over F times V minus Vx. So F prime will be equal to V times F over V minus Vx. So this will be, so F prime would be equal to V over V minus Vs times F. Now take note of this. So this is when the observer is approaching, sorry, the source is approaching the observer. Now if the source, so when the observer is moving towards the source, remember that the wavelength does not change. Now the wave, or the speed of the wave, will hit the observer at a speed of V plus V0. So the speed at which the wave is moving plus the speed at which the observer is moving. So the frequency of the wave will be V over lambda. So from here I can say that lambda is equal to V over F. That's the frequency of the wave. Now the apparent frequency of the wave will be equal to V plus V0 divided by lambda. So I can then write this as F prime is equal to V plus V0 divided by V over F. So this would be equal to V plus V0 times F over V. So the apparent frequency would be equal to V plus V0 all over V times F. Now then the apparent frequency will just be V minus V0 over V times F. So this tells you that the frequency is decreasing as the observer is moving away from the source. So let's look at the general case. Combining both. So on combining both, the apparent frequency would be V plus minus V0 over V plus minus Vs times f. So this is what you need to know. I'll just separate this into the numerator. When the observer is moving towards the source, use plus. Use plus. When the observer is moving away from the source, use minus. Now for the source, is moving towards the observer, use minus. That's for the denominator. Now when the source is moving away from the observer, use plus. So basically self-explanatory, because as the observer is moving towards the source, the frequency gets higher, and if it moves away, the frequency becomes lower, and that also occurs for the source also. I hope this lesson is useful to you. So do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. See you.